Hello listeners and welcome to this week's recording of Boomerang. Team 5 is made up of John, Ruth, Steve, Rosemary and our engineer is Aidan. The news this week is taken with permission from the West Lothian Courier dated the 16th of April 2026. As usual, the news will be broken into parts, and can I remind you, when you have finished listening to the whole recording, please post your wallet back to us from a post box and not the post office. We'll now start part 1 with the general news. And this first item is the headline item. Nursery worker struck off for attack on child, and is by Chloe Goodall. A West Lothian children's worker has been struck off the Scottish Social Services Council, the SSSC, register after she shouted and pulled a child's hair. Samantha Montgomery was working at a nursery in Livingston at the time of the threatening and abusive behaviour between June the 1st, 2022 and January 25th, 2023. Montgomery was found to have acted in a threatening or abusive manner by repeatedly shouting, placing children and others in a state of fear and alarm, and pulling a child by their hair. Following an investigation by the SSSC, they ruled her actions caused her colleagues and the children in her care emotional harm and placed the child whose hair she pulled at very high risk of physical harm. The report states, "Your actions fall far below the standards of conduct expected of you as a social services worker and call into question your suitability to work in the social services profession. The behaviour resulting in your conviction is serious. Your actions were deliberate and uncaring and placed others at risk of emotional and physical harm. You have not provided any comments to the SSSC to explain or mitigate your behaviour or to indicate regret or remorse. Your actions amount to a pattern of behaviour over several months are indicative of significant value issues on your part." It went on to highlight that the actions and behaviour Montgomery displayed while employed at the nursery led them to believe there was a real risk of harm should these actions ever be repeated, and that there is a need to protect supported individuals and colleagues. The report continued, "The behaviour resulting in your conviction took place at your work in nursery setting where you were trusted to provide a safe and nurturing environment for young children and where those children and your colleagues should have felt safe and been treated with respect. The conduct resulting in your conviction amounted to a pattern of unacceptable behaviour at your place of work. There is a high risk of physical and emotional harm to young children you were entrusted to care for and to your colleagues." In her favour, the SSSC did highlight that Montgomery has not previously been found to have had her fitness to practice impaired, but felt that removal from the register was still the most appropriate outcome. The report added, "The SSSC considers a removal order is the most appropriate sanction, as it's both necessary and justified in the public interest, and to maintain the continuing trust and confidence in the social service profession and the SSEC as a regulator of that profession."
The next report is from Ian Bunting, and the headline reads, "Happy Tale, spelled T-A-I-L, as Lucy finds her forever home." A beloved sponsor dog who was cared for at Dogs Trust West Calder for over 1,160 days has been adopted by one of her sponsors. The very happy tale began in the summer of 2022 when beautiful Lucy Longlegs came into the charity's care as a stray. Despite having both good looks and charm, Lucy failed to find her special someone, so in October 2024 she joined the Dogs Trust sponsorship scheme. The scheme gives members of the public the opportunity to sponsor a dog in Dogs Trust care for £1 a week. The sponsorship money helps the charity fund its rehoming centres and pay for food, treats, toys and veterinary care for the dogs. Sponsor dogs are still available for adoption, and by being on the scheme, they are seen by a larger pool of potential adopters nationwide. For Lucy Longlegs, this was key to her finding her perfect match with a couple who have been sponsoring Dogs Trust dogs for nearly 15 years. When you sponsor a dog, you receive regular updates from your pooch 3 times a year, at Christmas, on Valentine's Day and in the summer. Lucy Longlegs' summer update really struck a chord with the couple who asked to meet her. Despite living over 100 miles away in Northumberland, a meeting was arranged and love blossomed. Zoe James, rehoming manager at Dogs Trust West Calder, said, Lucy Longlegs' future Forever family reached out to us to say they had been sponsoring her for some time and now were in a position where they thought you could give her the ultimate gift, a spot on their sofa. They travelled quite a distance from England to visit Lucy a few times and quickly realised they were a match made in heaven. The visits were followed by a home trial to see how Lucy adapted to her new surroundings. We were all delighted when everything went well and it was cool Lucy was where she was meant to be. We had received lovely updates from her new family about how wonderfully she has settled into her forever home. We couldn't be more thrilled that Lucy Longlegs now has her happy ever after. 7-year-old Lucy Longlegs now lives a fabulous life in a historic village in Northumberland, where she loves spending time in the garden. Lucy's owner said, Lucy is doing amazingly well and had brought much joy to our lives. She has the loveliest nature, she is well-mannered and loving and likes nothing more than snuggling on the sofa with us at every opportunity. She is also a very adventurous girl in the garden, where she has bursts of energy and likes running around, which brings us much delight. She is a more confident dog now and we adore her. For more information on sponsoring a Dogs Trust dog, visit www.dogstrust.org. Support us/sponsor.
This article is by Stuart Somerville and the headline is Council Staff on Frontline to Guard Against Animal Disease Spread. West Lothian Council staff are in the front line in a joint operation to guard against the potential spread of animal-related disease as well as ensure animal welfare. Environmental health officers work with the Scottish and Westminster Government veterinary officers on animal and avian health. The Council takes the lead in acting as the local point of contact in wider responses to livestock problems, such as bird flu outbreaks, with public warnings issued earlier this year and in the winter of 2025. At a recent meeting of the Governance and Risk Committee, Linlithgow's councillor Pauline Orr wondered why animal welfare-related risks were detailed for the first time in a paper on high risks. She asked Craig Smith from the Environmental Health and Trading Standards Office, "Can you clarify that when there's a disease outbreak, whether it's bird flu or foot and mouth, the Council is one of the first contact points from the Scottish Government agricultural teams?" Mr. Smith told the meeting that such work had in the past been detailed within generic corporate risks. However, the decision has been taken to specify newly identified risks facing the Council when it comes to its role in animal welfare and disease control. He added that large-scale occurrences of disease outbreak were, thankfully, rare, but confirmed that the Council is in the default agency at local level for addressing disease control and a range of animal welfare issues. He added, "There are a number of agencies involved on farms, and we'll work with these agencies as issues arise. In terms of why it is now become high risk, there have been a number of incidents in recent history which have highlighted some vulnerabilities for ourselves. These vulnerabilities include the discovery of bird flu as well as the potential risks of statutory intervention to protect livestock where farms failed to comply with animal welfare obligations. Such failures of farms could be down to the financial crisis," suggested the paperwork. This could lead to statutory intervention by Council officers, including seizure of livestock, interim care and transport to ensure animal health and welfare with significant unbudgeted costs. There are other issues, including limited operational capacity to deliver the required duties of care, potential animal welfare harm, disruption to wider service delivery, and reputational damage to the Council. West Lothian environmental health offices also flagged up the lack of quarantine facilities nationally that would be needed to control diseases such as outbreaks of rabies. Mr. Smith moved to assure councillors that animals imported from abroad have gone through border patrol checks and such issues were infrequent. West Lothian escaped the brunt of the 2001 outbreak of foot and mouth disease, which hit counties such as Cumbria, Northumberland and Dumfries and Galloway the worst. A spokesperson for West Lothian Council said, "Like all Scottish councils, our environmental health and trading standards team have a wide remit covering animal welfare, including dog control laws and inspections, and licensing of businesses where live animals are kept, including pet shops, boarding sites, dog breeders, and horse and pony riding establishments. Priority is given to cases related to public health and safety where resources are limited. In recent years, we have issued warnings around avian flu in West Lothian after birds were found locally, recently in both February and March 2025 and February 2026. We also promote public safety messages related to animals, with recent examples including reminding residents to wash their hands after visiting animal petting sites in March 2005, and ensuring pet boarding services are licensed and registered in December 2025.
This article is headlined "Thieves are Killing Us, Says Angry Shop Owner," and it's by Jacob Farr. A shop owner claims to have lost thousands of pounds following repeated instances of shoplifting and vandalism. Mohammed Bilal, 39, has said the Londis store he runs in Bathgate has been targeted by youngsters and even professionals. Staff have constantly challenged people who attempt to shoplift from the store, but the perpetrators have resorted to smashing the front door and windows of the South Bridge Street business. Initially, Mohammed complained to Police Scotland every time something happened in the store, but has given up as he feels action is never taken. Speaking to Edinburgh Live, Mohammed shared a number of videos which have laid bare the grim volume of shoplifting incidents the store has to contend with. He claims his business loses £50 a day as a result of the incidents. In one clip, a shop worker is seen wresting a wine bottle from a potential shoplifter before it smashes on the floor. Another clip shows a woman placing an item inside her jacket, while a third also appears to show a different woman putting 2 wine bottles in a bag. Mohammed said, "It happens so often they also come and break our door and our windows. I would say it is every other day someone is shoplifting. We have had people who work in the community in their 40s that have been caught red-handed. We tell them we have caught them on CCTV. The shop at one stage was being smashed up every 2 or 3 days. It is costing us hundreds to fix. With shoplifting as well, I would say it is costing £50 a day and it is killing us. We are in thousands of pounds of loss as it all adds up. I don't think anyone is taking it seriously. It gets reported all the time, but what is the point? It feels like when you phone the police, it is as if you are bothering them, so I just stopped reporting it. All the shop owners face this. It is happening all the time." Police Scotland was contacted for a comment by our sister title, The Daily Record.
The next item is headed Performing Arts Academy set to launch in area and is by Ross Thompson. The Pauline Quirk Academy of Performing Arts, PQA, is launching in West Lothian this Saturday, April the 18th. PQA will offer confidence-boosting training for children and young people aged 4 to 18 with a free open day for locals to explore all that's on offer. The main academy for 6 to 18-year-olds will run every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. until 12:15 at Craig's Farm Community Hub on Marie Walk, delivering expert training across PQA's unique 3-class programme, including musical theatre, film and television, and comedy and drama. Young performers and filmmakers will have the chance to build skills both on stage and behind the camera, exploring acting, script writing, screen production, and more. As part of the launch, the Academy will also be introducing Poppets, a dedicated weekly class on a Saturday morning from 9:15 to 10:45 for 4 to 6-year-olds, designed to spark imaginations and encourage creativity in a safe and nurturing environment. These sessions help little ones build confidence, make friends, and develop essential life skills through the magic of performing arts. PQA West Lothian will be run by Principal Arlene Toner, who has been involved in community theatre for over 17 years, as well as working in television, giving her a broad understanding of performance across different medium. Arlene helped her community theatre company raise over £385,000 for Macmillan Cancer Support. Arlene said, "I'm thrilled to bring PQA to West Lothian. Our academy will be a place where young performers and creatives can explore, grow and discover what makes them extraordinary. The support and friendship I've found through theatre has shaped who I am, and I can't wait to offer that same opportunity to our students. Young performers will have opportunities to showcase their work through in-house performances, cinema screenings of their own short films, and the chance to perform in the West End at His Majesty's Theatre. PQA West Lothian already has over 40 performers signed up across their main academy and Poppets, with more joining each week, building towards an April launch. Arlene and her team are dedicated to providing a safe and inclusive space for young people to discover themselves while learning the latest techniques in performing arts. For those that cannot attend on Saturday, PQA is proud to offer a free session throughout the year. To book, please visit www.pqaacademy.com. And there's a lovely picture of a class in progress with a young girl showing off her jazz hands.
Next headline reads, "Kids excited for footy camps over holidays." Bathgate and Linlithgow MP, Christine Sullivan, was pleased to visit Bathgate Thistle at Excite Bathgate over the Easter period to see football camps for kids in action. The camps are funded by Scottish Gas in partnership with Scottish FA to help families during the school holidays while keeping thousands of children active, social and engaged. Ms Sullivan spoke to Bathgate Thistle about the importance of local community-based sport and the value of volunteers and local champions to keep clubs running. She said, "I was thrilled to visit Bathgate Thistle at their Easter camp and see some very impressive football playing from the kids involved. Embedding local sports programmes like the partnership between Scottish Gas and the Scottish FA is vital for our community in Bathgate and Linlithgow and across Scotland. The camps form part of Scottish Gas's drive to bring free football clubs back to communities across Scotland during the school holidays, ensuring children from all backgrounds can enjoy the game. They are delivered through a 5-year partnership with the Scottish FA."
And that brings us to the end of part 1. Welcome back to part 2, and we'll start with the family announcements.
May Benny, peacefully at Red Mill Care Home on the 2nd of April 2026. May, aged 92 years. Loving wife of the late Joseph Benny, loving mum to Anne, Graham and Shona, and beloved gran and great-gran. Funeral service will take place at Falkirk Crematorium on Friday 24th of April 2026 at 1:45 p.m, followed by a gathering at the Park Hotel, Falkirk. A retiral offering will be made to Alzheimer's Scotland. Mary Doyle, peacefully at Croft Head Care Home on Tuesday 31st of March 2026, aged 93 years. Loving mum of Margaret, Linda, James, Valerie, Pauline, the late Deborah and Louise, will be sadly missed by all the family. A funeral mass to which all are welcome will be held at St John's Cantius and St Nicholas Church on Monday 20th of April at 9:30 a.m, thereafter to Loaning Hill Cemetery.
James Mitchell, Broxburn, peacefully at St John's Hospital on Monday 13th April 2026, aged 83 years. James, beloved husband of Mima, much-loved dad and grandad, sadly missed by all family and friends. For funeral arrangements, contact Thomas Grieve and Son Limited on 01506 856580. Also, Anne Torrance, peacefully at St John's Hospital on Friday 3rd April 2026, aged 78 years. A funeral service, to which all are welcome, will be held at Loaning Hill Cemetery on Friday 24th April at 10 a.m.
And now back to the general news. This item is headed Bumper Donation from Builder. Persimmon Homes East Scotland has made a £3,000 donation to West Calder and Harburn Community Development Trust. The four-figure boost came through its Community Champions scheme, supporting the Trust's ambitious Discovery Centre project. The funding will help the Trust as they progress plans for the new Discovery Centre, a community-focused facility designed to provide learning heritage, well-being and social spaces for residents of West Calder, Harburn and the surrounding area. West Calder and Harburn Community Development Trust is a volunteer-led organisation working to improve opportunities, well-being and quality of life for local people. The Trust is committed to developing sustainable community assets that bring people together, strengthen local identity and provide long-term social and economic benefits. The Discovery Centre project aims to create a welcoming family-friendly attraction, offering educational activities, heritage interpretation, community events and a space for local groups to meet and collaborate. The donation was made through Persimmon's Community Champions scheme, which sees each of the house builder's 29 regional businesses donate at least £6,000 to every quarter to local charities, schools and community groups. Neil Martin, Planning Director at Persimmon East Scotland, said, "We are delighted to support West Calder and Harburn Community Development Trust and their plans for the new Discovery Centre. Projects like this are central to building connected communities and providing spaces that bring people together. With our headquarters in West Lothian, we'll continue investing in the local area and supporting initiatives that create lasting benefits for residents and the wider community. For more information about the initiative and Persimmon's wider community work, visit www.persimmonhomes.com.
Next headline, Zoo bids sad farewell to beloved leopard Cirrus. Five Sisters Zoo has announced the death and loss of Cirrus, its much-loved clouded leopard. Cirrus arrived at the zoo in March 2022 alongside male Peckham after being rehomed from a private facility. From the very beginning, she captured the affection of everyone who cared for her. Known for her gentle nature, Cirrus was a truly sweet individual who formed a strong bond with her keepers. At 10 years old, Cirrus had been facing serious health challenges in recent weeks. A zoo spokesman said, "With the support of specialist veterinarians, it was discovered that she had developed a fast-growing aggressive tumour." Despite every effort to support her, the difficult decision was made on Tuesday afternoon, March the 31st, to let her go. As the only clouded leopard in Scotland, Cirrus held a unique place in the hearts of visitors. She quickly became one of the zoo's most popular residents, with many guests spending time patiently hoping to catch a glimpse of her. While it is never easy to say goodbye, the team takes comfort in knowing that Cirrus was cared for with love and dedication throughout her time at the zoo, and that she brought so much joy to so many people. She will be deeply missed by staff, volunteers and visitors alike.
This article is by Billy Gaddy. Wrestling stars pay tribute to grappler Scott. Former WWE stars have paid tribute to a Livingston wrestler nicknamed The Butcher following his sad death. Tributes came flooding in for Scott Fenwick after he passed away at the age of 41. It's understood that the father of four died last week. The wrestler from West Lothian debuted in 2005 and won 11 championships across the British wrestling scene. During his career, he even tag-teamed with former WWE superstar Killian Dane. Scott and Killian, real name Damien Mackle, formed the team Britain's Most Wanted. The pair were multiple-time Scottish Wrestling Alliance Tag Team champions. Paying tribute to his late friend, Damien said, "Scott was a great wrestler, a great tag partner, but an even better person. His love of dad jokes used to infuriate me no end, but he was a joy to be around. To say he will be missed is an understatement, and we're sending lots of love to his family." His sister, Claire Brown, also made a heartfelt tribute to her best friend. "Not many people can say their big brother is their best friend, but I certainly can. Not sure where we go from here, but I do know I'll never stop talking about you. I'll never stop thinking about you, and I'll always be so proud to be your sister." In 2017, we reported that Scott suffered the loss of function in both of his kidneys in 2017 and was diagnosed with kidney disease. His life was saved when one of his best friends, Graham Leask, aged 34, donated one of his kidneys to the Grappler. At the time, Scott said that the transplant gave him a brand new start and he was looking forward to the future. A highlight of the ex-fire and flood restoration technician's wrestling career was winning the Scottish Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship at Glasgow's iconic Kelvin Hall in 2009. In said bout, Scott defeated then soon-to-be WWE star Wolfgang and the late Adrian Lionheart McCallum, who passed away in 2019. Before his death, Scott was due to have a show dedicated in his honour at Greenfield Social Club in Hamilton on April the 18th, called Butcher Mania, a homage to his legendary nickname. During the Alba Championship Wrestling show, Scott was set to be inducted into their Hall of Fame. Fans and friends of Scott also took to social media to show respect to the Scottish wrestling great. Several Squared Circle stars have spoken very warmly about Scott in emotional messages, and there's a couple of really nice photographs of Scott when he was better.
The next headline is Exam Pupils Set to Enjoy Brand New School Wing. It's by Stuart Somerville. St Kentigern's Academy pupils walked into a brand new school on Tuesday morning with the completion of a new £35 million wing. The new extension to the school in Blackburn has been completed on time and within budget. More than 60% of St Kentigern's Academy had to be demolished because of issues with reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete, or RAC, roofing planks discovered in March 2023. St Kentigern's is one of West Lothian's largest schools and serves pupils from towns and villages across the west of West Lothian. Interim Deputy Chief Executive Greg Welsh said, "It's fantastic to have the superb new replacement wing at St Kentigern's Academy completed as planned. This will allow pupils to sit all their SQA exams in school for the first time in 3 years, and all subject areas will now be delivered from within the school going forward. The excellent new facilities will make a real positive difference to the learning experience of St Kentigern's pupils for many years to come. The new building features a reception area, spacious canteen and dining area, a forecourt games hall, dance studio, fitness suite and a changing village. It also includes a performance area, a range of learning spaces, a cafe, nurture rooms, all designed to enhance the learning environment for all of the young people who attend the school. Special thanks go to the St Kentigern's community for their understanding and support during the construction period, including school staff, parents and carers, and especially our amazing young people. Our appreciation also goes to everyone who worked tirelessly to deliver this essential project in such a short timescale, including our hub development partner Hub South East, main contractor Heron Brown, BDP, architects and colleagues from across the council. Earlier this month, it was revealed West Lothian Council had been snubbed by Holyrood for £15 million it needs for the rebuild of St Kentigern's. The council has used £20 million of its own resources and has made repeated calls to the Scottish Government to cover the last £15 million needed.
This next item is headed Cracking Kindness This Easter and is by Ian Bunting. Livingston's MP highlighted how the town is chock-a-block with kindness. Gregor Poynton praised community groups and local businesses for going the extra mile this Easter, as he supported a series of initiatives helping families and young people across the constituency. In the run-up to Easter weekend, Mr Poynton delivered donations to 3 local efforts, making a difference in the community across West Lothian. At Craig's Farm Community Hub, he joined Peter Davidson at the Gathering Grounds Cafe, where Easter eggs were distributed to families and children accessing the cafe over the holiday weekend. In East Calder, he supported David Dewar and the organisers of the Easter scavenger hunt at J&R Vetch Garden Centre, a family event raising funds for Jack's Den charity and providing activities for local children. And in Uphall, the MP backed Shannon Quinn and the team at Houston House Hotel's annual Easter egg collection, now in its 4th year, with donations going to St John's Hospital Children's Ward and local food banks. The Houston House initiative has also been strengthened by support from Foxy's Burton's Companies, that's Patterson's Livingston, who donated Easter hampers, biscuits and jams to boost the appeal. Mr Poynton said, "Across the Livingston constituency, you can see the best of the community. Local groups, volunteers and businesses are stepping up and making things happen. These are practical efforts that make a real difference, whether that's putting on activities for young people or making sure families can enjoy the Easter weekend. It's been a pleasure to support them, and I want to thank everyone involved." Mr Poynton is encouraging local residents to support these initiatives where possible, whether by donating or taking part in community events over the Easter holidays. And there are several photographs of Mr Poynton with the various businesses.
Next article is by Ian Bunting. Headline reads, Bank on Support. West Lothian Provost Cathy Muldoon took part in an event to celebrate the amazing contribution of volunteers at West Lothian Food Bank. The Provost was invited to Broxburn Parish Church to help present individual volunteers with a certificate to recognise their outstanding service and the role they play in supporting the work of West Lothian Food Bank in the local area, which provides vital support to those in need. Jim Huey, Senga Brown, Trudy MacDonald, Janice Linton and Heather Freeland were among those who were recognised on the day for over 10 years of service with West Lothian Food Bank. Provost Muldoon said, "I was delighted to have been asked to come along by West Lothian Food Bank to help recognise the contributions of some of their volunteers. It was a pleasure to meet with them, and I hope they realise how important they are in supporting those in need in West Lothian." More information is available at www.westlothianfoodbank.org.uk.
Ex-head is new Education Scotland boss, and the article is by Ross Thompson. A former head teacher and West Lothian's head of education has been appointed as the new Chief Executive of Education Scotland. Donna McMaster will take up the role next month at the helm of the national education body, tasked with leading on curriculum design, delivery and improvement, and a new national framework for professional learning. Miss McMaster, who was also head teacher of Inveramond Community High School, is scheduled to start at Education Scotland on Monday, April the 27th, subject to final pre-appointment checks being completed. Discussing her new role, Ms McMaster said, "I feel both privileged and excited to be taking up the role as Chief Executive of Education Scotland. As an organisation, we will look to lead across the system with clarity and ambition, empowering teachers, supporting leaders and ensuring excellence and equity for every learner in Scotland. By working hand in hand with schools and local authorities, we can create the conditions for all of Scotland's children and young people to succeed. Ms McMaster was previously head teacher at Castlemilk High School, then seconded to Drumchapel High School, as well as Inveramond, before going on to become Head of Education, Curriculum, Quality Improvement and Performance at West Lothian Council. She was a member of the Association of Directors of Education in Scotland and has experience in developing and implementing the 3 to 18 curriculum models at school, local authority and national level. She has joined Education Scotland from Aldar Education in the UAE, where she was Director of Education. Education Secretary Jenny Gilruth said, "Donna brings a wealth of experience to the leadership of Education Scotland at a key time in the wider reform programme. Her time in the classroom, leading schools to improve as a former secondary head teacher, along with her strategic experience at local authority level, provide the right mix of knowledge and skills necessary to drive Education Scotland forward. Refocusing Education Scotland on the curriculum will deliver the change and improvement necessary to achieve excellence and equity for Scotland's children and young people, and importantly, provide better support for our teaching profession."
The next article is by Adam Dutton. A young Lanarkshire woman was diagnosed with blood cancer after her symptoms were dismissed as anxiety and being told by a GP, "You look healthy, so you must be fine." Abby Maxwell was reassured by doctors nothing was wrong despite losing 6 stone in under a year and suffering from regular bouts of nausea and vomiting. The student visited her local GP 4 times between February and July 2022, but her doctor reckoned her symptoms were anxiety-related. But Abby, who was 22 at the time, knew deep down it was something more serious due to the drastic weight loss and kept pushing for an answer despite being repeatedly dismissed. Abby, 25, of Blantyre, said, "I remember going in on one appointment and the GP said, 'You look healthy, so you must be fine.' At that point I was being sick a lot. It was pretty much daily and I lost a substantial amount of weight, around 6 stone, in a very short time. So I knew something was wrong. I'd been previously diagnosed with anxiety, so the GP linked the nausea and sickness with that, even though I said I wasn't feeling any particular increase in anxiety when I was being sick. When I was dismissed by multiple GPs, it made me feel belittled, discouraged and frustrated. I knew I was ill and I knew what the symptoms I had. I knew that the symptoms I had weren't normal, but they made me question my own thoughts and feelings to the point that I disregarded the first physical sign of cancer for months before going back to them. I went to the GP in February 2022, and that's when they said my folic acid was low, so they put me on tablets. I went back again a few times, and then in July 2022, the doctor said that I looked healthy, so I was fine. Looking back, I can laugh, but it was ridiculous. I was being sick quite a lot, and she had put that down to my anxiety. She said it was causing the nausea and sickness, and I explained that I wasn't feeling anxious during these sickness bouts. I think she just saw that in my notes and used that to explain it. I probably went 3 or 4 times from February to July. I knew there was something wrong with me, but I thought I was being disregarded, so what's the point of doing that again? She eventually saw doctors again in December 2022 after developing a lump on her underarm and was referred for an ultrasound. At the ultrasound appointment, she had a biopsy taken and was told by doctors that they suspected she had lymphoma. After dropping from 13 stone to 7 stone in a few months, Abby was finally diagnosed with high-grade non-Hodgkin lymphoma in January 2023. She added, "I had no inkling of cancer. I knew there was something wrong, but never in a million years did I think it was cancer. When I was told it was most likely lymphoma, I just started crying and wanted to leave immediately. I just needed to go home and be away from there. After her diagnosis, she began 6 cycles of chemotherapy at the Beatson West of Scotland Cancer Centre, where she described her care as exceptional. Abby said, "I actually felt vindicated that I wasn't making it all up, and it was almost a relief as I could now process what was coming." Now, 2.5 years later, cancer-free Abby, who is currently training as a complementary therapist, wants to raise awareness of cancer in young people. She is aiming to highlight the fact that cancer doesn't end when you get the all clear, and the importance of young people feeling supported in the aftermath of treatment. She added, "There's all kinds of long-term effects from treatment, like chronic fatigue and fertility issues. And with my joints and my bones, I feel like I can't move the same way that I used to. There are the psychological effects after treatment ends too, because you're coming to terms with what's just happened to you, and for me, the physical changes I had. I gained a lot of weight at the time because of the steroids I'd been on for treatment, and I had no hair, so I was very self-conscious for a good while. There needs to be a certain level of compassion for young people that have been through cancer." Ashley Ball-Gamble, CEO of the Children and Young People's Cancer Association, said, "We'd like to say a huge thank you to Abby for sharing her story, which highlights why we're working to support healthcare professionals by educating them on cancer in young people to improve diagnosis times. The earlier a diagnosis is made, the better chance there is that treatment will not only be effective, but will come with fewer short and long-term side effects."
And that brings us to the end of part 2. Welcome back to part 3, which includes the quiz. Remember to listen at the beginning of part 4 for the answers. Here we go. 10 questions. Let's see how you cope. Number 1. In which English county is Ascot Racecourse situated? Is it A, Berkshire, B, Suffolk, C, Surrey? Number 2. In which European country did Jarlsberg cheese originate? A, Norway, B, Holland, C, Germany. Number 3. In which major ocean is the island of Guam situated? A, Indian, B, Pacific, C, Atlantic. Number 4. Which singer did the composer Andrew Lloyd Webber marry in 1984? A, Toyah Willcox, B, Kate Bush, C, Sarah Brightman. Number 5. Which Australian golfer is known as the Great White Shark? A, Peter Senior, B, Greg Norman, C, Ian Baker Finch. Number 6. In medicine, what does the C in COPD mean? A, causal, B, constriction, C, chronic. Number 7. What type of creature is a whinchat? A, bird, B, butterfly, C, cat. Number 6. Who wrote the 1932 book about the Spanish bullfighting, Death in the Afternoon? A, Dashiell Hammett, B, Ernest Hemingway, C, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Number 9. Who hosted the ITV quiz show Cash Trapped? A, Ben Shepherd, B, Bradley Walsh, C, Jeremy Vine. And number 10. Which group had a hit single in 1980 with the song Don't Stand So Close to Me? A, UB40, B, The Police, C, Depeche Mode. And for your final wee challenge, our 2 words today are, first one, fedora, Fedora. What does it mean? A type of grass, B, a type of felt hat, or C, a government seal. And your second word, impugn, spelt IMPUGN. What does it mean? A, foretell, B, force suddenly, or C, attack by words or argument. Again, the answers will be given at the beginning of part 4. And now back to the general news.
The next article is entitled Detecting an Informative Time for Golf Club Members. Linlithgow and District 41 Club were treated to a no-fools introduction to metal detecting at Linlithgow Golf Club. From terrifying bags of musket balls and a very rare Bronze Age axe head, circa 200 BC, to coins and jewellery throughout history, a real treasure trove was on display. Sean McMahon introduced Colin Todd, who delivered a highly interactive and engaging discussion on metal detection and his experience over the past 35 years. His enthusiasm was palpable, and he is very involved in supporting all ages. Key tips included searching near churchyards or in partnership with archaeologists, and although all finds belong to the Crown, valuation can be lucrative for the detector. A club spokesman said, "We were also privileged to welcome Donald Fullerton into our membership. Colin McGill was honoured with a long service medal, having joined in 1987, and attached are several photographs of the finds that Colin has found over the years."
Sites on Extra Service, again by Ross Thompson. The Specsavers store in Linlithgow can now offer its independent prescription service 6 days a week, helping to reduce pressures on local GP services. The locally owned store, located at the Regent Centre, has announced that optometrist Diana Strang will join director Diana Kelly as fully qualified independent prescribers. This will allow them to write prescriptions for customers with conditions that can make eyes sore, red or dry, for example, allergies, infections or recurring issues. This qualification allows more team members to now manage more complex eye conditions without the need to refer as many patients to hospital. Diana and the team are now able to issue customers with NHS prescriptions for the medications they need to manage any eye ailments, and customers can then take this straight to a pharmacy to be dispensed without having to visit their GP. The service will work on a triage basis, meaning patients will be assessed to determine the urgency of their need for treatment. After passing the final exam and receiving the qualification, optometrist Diana said, "I'm pleased to have successfully passed my final independent prescribing therapeutics examination. Throughout this journey, I have benefited greatly from the guidance and support of our director, Diana Kelly, as well as valuable clinical experience gained during my placement with ophthalmologist Dr. Nabil. This achievement allows me to expand the scope of care I can provide, offering enhanced treatment options for a wide range of eye conditions within the Linlithgow community. To book a test at Specsavers Linlithgow, call 01506 534484 or visit www.specsavers.co.uk/stores/Linlithgow.
The next article is in the section Dogs Trust Pet for the Week, and it's an appeal to give a dog a new life. The headline is, Jack the Lad is really loving. This week's gorgeous lad is Jack. 5-year-old Jack is a Shetland sheepdog crossbreed who is enjoying all the comforts of home in foster care. His foster carers describe him as a really loving dog who is a snuggle bug and who loves company. Jack prefers the more peaceful side of life and takes things at his own pace. He enjoys resting on a cool floor and chilling out, quite literally. He likes to chase a ball, although he may not always pick it up and give it to you for further throws. It's the journey, not the destination for Jack. He also likes to play with soft toys. Jack enjoys walks in quieter areas away from noisy traffic. He also enjoys car journeys, eagerly watching the world go by from the window. The affectionate lad will ask for a fuss from people he knows. He will let you know when it's time for a fuss by presenting his body ready for a gentle scratch. Jack could live with children of secondary school age and above. He would like to be the only pet in his forever home so he can enjoy all the fuss and attention to himself. Dogs Trust West Calder is open for general browsing on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. and by pre-arranged appointments to Wednesday and Friday mornings. To find out more about all the pooches patiently waiting to be adopted at Dogs Trust West Calder, visit www.dogstrust.org.uk/West Calder. And there's a lovely picture of Jack on a sandy beach. He looks lovely.
This next item is headed Promise of Further Support. Taylor Wimpey East Scotland has launched the second year of its Calderwood Community Promise as part of its role in delivering the Calderwood Master Plan in East Calder. Building on the success of last year's inaugural programme, which supported 3 local groups through individual donations of £1,000, the 2026 Calderwood Community Promise will once again offer meaningful support to organisations making a positive difference in the Calderwood and East Calder communities. Up to £10,000 remains committed across the 3-year initiative, with a mix of financial donations and staff volunteering available. Eligible organisations can apply for one of the following support packages. These are a full donation of £1,000, a combined package of £500 plus 1 day of volunteering from up to 3 staff members, or a volunteer task force of up to 5 staff members for 1 day. Terms and conditions apply and are available on the application form. For 2026, Taylor Wimpey East Scotland will again select 3 charities or community organisations, ensuring a wide range of groups benefit from the initiative over its full duration. To be eligible, applicants must operate within the West Lothian Council area and demonstrate a clear, positive impact on the Calderwood and East Calder communities. Reflecting on the continuation of the programme, Kirsty McGill, Sales and Marketing Director for Taylor Wimpey East Scotland, said, "We're delighted to launch the second year of the Calderwood Community Promise. Last year's response showed just how many incredible organisations are working tirelessly to support the Calderwood and East Calder communities. Nominations close on May the 3rd and can be submitted via www.surveymonkey.com.
The next report is by Paul Thompson. Headline reads, Swim It stars make a big splash. Youngsters from Swim It in West Lothian have been making a splash at various events over the last month. The club competed in a 3-round East District Championship event in March, and huge congratulations to their swimmers after 2 finals were achieved, 28 personal bests were set, 5 top 10 places were secured, and the bronze medal was achieved. Myla Lamy won bronze for her efforts in the 100-metre backstroke, while Aidan Thomas, Logan Bell, Alex Dunlop, Sarah Sutherland, Hannah Bogle and Holly Watson also represented the club. In the recent Cumbernauld meet, Logan Bell, Sarah Sutherland, Alex Dunlop, Ellie Boyd, Myla Lamy and Megan Morgan all raced and 14 personal bests were achieved. At the West Lothian School Swimming Regional Heats, Alec Dunlock, Myla Lamy and Sarah Sutherland all achieved consideration times and have a chance of qualifying for the finals in June. And finally, the club also competed in the Clyde Valley Beavers Disability Meet held in Wishaw. Across 36 races, 36 personal best times were achieved and 16 medals were won, with the club claiming 3 gold, 6 silver and 7 bronze. Those competing were Adam Verhearn, Oliver Morgan, Andrew Morgan, Stuart Farquhar, Jack Hilson, Sophia Bryce, Alex McGuigan, Ewan Grimley, Ella Green and Ethan Wood. A club spokesman said, "The performances all round were absolutely standout and all swimmers really challenged themselves, achieving incredible races that will leave lasting memories." Meanwhile, senior star Leslie Higgins competed at the World Championships in Oulu, Finland. Her age group results saw her finish second in the 450-metre free, second in the 200-metre free and 4th in 25-metre fly. And attached are several pictures of smiling, happy medal winners.
NHS advice for residents over spring season. Whether it's bumps, bangs or bruises, West Lothian residents are being urged to get NHS-approved advice for kids this spring. With the brighter season in full swing and many children taking advantage of the nicer weather to head outdoors, NHS 24 is reminding parents and carers where to find trusted advice if a minor injury happens during play. Amid longer days and hopefully better weather, children are more likely to be outdoors running, climbing and exploring. While scrapes, bumps, bruises and sprains are often part of active play, knowing how to respond can help families manage minor injuries safely and confidently at home. Trampolines, bikes, footballs and playground equipment are among the most common causes of minor musculoskeletal injuries in children. These can include sprained wrists or ankles, and in some cases injuries to the collarbone or elbows after a fall. Simple steps such as using trampoline nets or encouraging the kids to wear protective gear when cycling or using scooters can help reduce the risk of injury. Dr. Julie Ronald, Associate Medical Director at NHS 24 said, "Being active and playing outdoors is hugely important for children's physical and emotional development. Action-packed play is completely normal, but it can sometimes lead to minor injuries such as sprains or strains. If your child has a mild injury, simple steps like resting the area, taking child-appropriate painkillers, using a cold pack to help reduce swelling, and keeping an eye on symptoms over the next few hours and days can make a real difference." NHS 24 manages the National Health Information website NHS Inform, which provides clear NHS-approved advice on treating minor injuries at home. West Lothian parents and carers can find guidance on sprains, strains and bruises and when it's safe to return to normal activities. Dr. Ronald added, "If you're still worried or your child's symptoms aren't improving, it's important to seek further advice. Contact your GP during the day or if it's out of hours, call NHS 24 on 111. Their teams can offer reassurance, advice, or direct you to the most appropriate service, including if you think you might need to take them to A&E. Parents and carers are encouraged to visit nhsinform.scot/spring for more health advice and guidance."
The next article is headed "Dobbies Centre donates over £3,000 to charity", and it's by Ian Bunting. Dobbies Garden Centres has announced that the outstanding success of the first year of its national charity partnership with Alzheimer's Research UK, having raised £235,000, with its Livingston store contributing £3,649 towards the total. Launched in March 2025, the charity was chosen for its strong resonance with Dobbies communities, customers and colleagues. The partnership also supports Alzheimer's Research UK Think Brain Health campaign, highlighting the benefits of gardening and garden living for brain health. Alzheimer's Research UK is the UK's leading dementia research charity, dedicated to ending the heartbreak of dementia by speeding up progress towards a cure. Kirsty Cole, General Manager of Dobbies Livingston store, said, "We truly appreciate everything our colleagues and customers have done to support our partnership with Alzheimer's Research UK over the past year, and I'd like to thank everyone for their involvement. From charity's initiative in-store and our dedicated Christmas shopping night to colleague fundraising challenges, we've come together to make a real difference." Dr. Shona Scales, Director of Research at Alzheimer's Research UK, added, "Almost 1 million people are living with dementia in the UK, and this number is predicted to reach 1.4 million by 2040. Alzheimer's Research UK exists to change that. It is more urgent than ever that we revolutionise the way dementia is treated, diagnosed and prevented. We are incredibly proud to work with Dobbies. This partnership is helping us share the message of brain health while raising vital funds to help end the heartbreak of dementia. Dobby's customers and colleagues in this Livingston store raised the funds through a range of initiatives, including an exclusive bulb pack developed in partnership with Taylor's Bulbs, a dedicated Christmas shopping night, online event donations, and colleague fundraising challenges, including marathons. During World Alzheimer's Month in September, Dobby's also launched a nationwide programme in partnership with micro-donation charity Pennies. This enables customers to choose to give a 25p donation when paying by card at the garden centre tills, which has so far raised over £69,000 in donations across all 53 stores.
And that brings us to the end of part 3. We'll come back to part 4. We'll start with the answers to the quiz and then finish off with some general news. Right, let's find out how you managed. Number 1. In which English county is Ascot Racecourse situated? Berkshire, Suffolk or Surrey? And the answer is A, Berkshire. Number 2. In which European country did Jarlsberg cheese originate? Is it A, Norway, B, Holland, C, Germany? And the answer is A, Norway. Number 3. In which major ocean is the island of Guam situated? A, Indian, B, Pacific, C, Atlantic. And the answer is B, Pacific. Which singer did the composer Andrew Lloyd Webber marry in 1984? A, Toyah Willcox, B, Kate Bush, C, Sarah Brightman, and the answer is C, Sarah Brightman. Number 5. Which Australian golfer is known as the Great White Shark? A, Peter Senior, B, Greg Norman, C, Ian Baker Finch, and the answer is B, Greg Norman. In medicine, what does the C in COPD mean? A, causal, B, constriction, C, chronic, and the answer is C, chronic. Number 7. What type of creature is a whinchat? A, bird, B, butterfly, C, cat, and the answer is A, bird. Number 8. Who wrote the 1932 book about Spanish bullfighting, Death in the Afternoon? A, Dashiell Hammett, B, Ernest Hemingway, C, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and the answer is B, Ernest Hemingway. Number 9. Who hosted the ITV quiz show Cash Trapped? A, Ben Shepherd, B, Bradley Walsh, or C, Jeremy Vine, and the answer is B, Bradley Walsh. And number 10. Which group had a hit single in 1980 with the song Don't Stand So Close to Me? A, UB40, B, The Police, C, Depeche Mode, and the answer is B, The Police. Well done, you got half marks or more. And our wee word challenge. The word fedora means a kind of felt hat. And the second word impugn means to attack by words or argument. Your challenge, can you use them in a sentence today? And now we continue with the news.
Next report is by Ross Thompson. Headline reads, Young team inspired by Hampton trip made possible by community support. Dozens of children enjoyed an Easter to remember thanks to the generosity of Livingston company John Heaney Electrical Limited. The electrical and mechanical engineering specialist donated 60 tickets for the Scottish Football Museum at Hampden Park to the West Lothian Community Foundation, WLCF, a charity which delivers football-based programmes and activities that provide wider social benefit for local communities. As part of the Foundation's Easter camps, a trip to the National Stadium in Glasgow was organised, and thanks to JHE's donation, the group enjoyed a memorable day out at the famous venue which will host 6 matches in Euro 2028. As well as enjoying a behind-the-scenes stadium tour, the children also followed in the footsteps of Scotland World Cup heroes Scott McTominay, Kieran Tierney and John McGinn, with a coaching session on the indoor warm-up pitch. Leanne Watson, WLCF General Manager, said, "We would like to say a massive thank you to John Heaney Electrical for their incredibly generous support with the donation of tickets to the Scottish Football Museum at Hampden Park. Because of this, we were able to keep our Easter camp prices low and affordable, ensuring more children across West Lothian could take part in a truly special experience. In a World Cup year, with Scotland qualifying for the first time in our youngsters' lifetimes, it felt especially important they had the chance to visit Hampden Park, learn about our footballing history and be inspired by it. Without the support of JHE, this is something that many children simply wouldn't have had the opportunity to experience. This is what real community support looks like, creating memories, opening doors and giving young people opportunities they will never forget. We are committed to keeping our camps accessible, varied and impactful for the young people and families we support, and companies like John Heaney Electrical truly put the community into West Lothian Community Foundation. Focusing on industrial and commercial work, JHE services a UK-wide client base from its headquarters in Livingston. Although helping the local community has always been a priority for Managing Director Mark Heaney, the firm are the charity partners of West Lothian counselling service Smile. We were delighted to play a part in the Easter camps being organised by the West Lothian Community Federation with our donation of tickets to the Scottish Football Museum, said Mr Heaney. Hearing how much all the local young people enjoyed the experience at Hampden Park is very pleasing, and hopefully it's something they will remember.
This article is again by Ross Thompson and the headline is "We'll Fight to the End." Marvin Bartley insists no one at Livingston is ready to give up on retaining their premiership status. The rock-bottom Lions stunned Dundee United at Tannadice when they took a 2-1 lead thanks to Lewis Smith's second-half double, but they ultimately lost the game 3-2. The result means Livingston are now 12 points adrift of 11th-placed Kilmarnock, with just 5 games to go and 15 points left to play for. However, Boss Bartley is adamant the players will not be running up the white flag just yet. The 39-year-old said, "They haven't given up and we won't allow them to give up." There were harsh words spoken at half-time because we needed a reaction from some individuals. Smithy was one of them because I didn't think he had the best of first halves. He got us 2-1 up, but we have to be better in those moments afterwards. The manner of the goals, even the first goal, we throw ourselves to the floor, and I'm massive on that not happening. The boys know it. We let him inside and then it goes through someone's legs. Just stand up and let the ball hit you. It's just a bit of leather with some air in it, so you have to be braver in those situations. United boss Jim Goodwin admitted he thought his players were in the driving seat at half-time thanks to Will Ferry's opener. However, after Smith's quick-fire double, the manager was delighted to see his side equalise through Christian Kirishestes before Zach Sapsford secured all 3 points with stoppage time penalty. Goodwin said, "In the first half, I thought we were quite comfortable. Scored a really good goal. Will Ferry doing what he does best, being positive in the one and producing a great finish into the bottom right corner with his weaker right foot. We were all quite relaxed at half-time. I didn't think Livingston offered a great deal in the first half. I never envisaged the start to the second half coming. We gave away 2 really, really poor goals. The first one, we gifted the ball to the Livingston attacker. For the second one, we highlighted before the game the quality of the Livingston goalkeeper has with the volley out of his hands. He puts a really good ball into a good area. It's then a foot race between Smith and Ross Graham, and young Lewis Smith has scored goals like that all season. We gave ourselves a mountain to climb. We tried to change it up and then get a bit of fresh legs on there. I thought the substitutes were positive. We scored a good set play and then in the dying moments, Zach Sapsford gets the penalty." And there's some photographs of some football chaps looking very sad.
More football now, but it's junior level. Rose Bin Bankies with win. Linlithgow Rose took firm control of the Lowland League title race with an emphatic victory over Clydebank at Prestonfield, setting up a decisive final weekend in the battle for the championship. The game's pivotal moment arrived shortly after, when a driving Rose attack forced a Clydebank defender to bring down the forward as he raced through on goal. The referee immediately produced a straight red card, leaving the visitors with 10 men after just 15 minutes. Linlithgow made their advantage count midway through the first half. Blair Henderson calmly slotted to home to give the hosts the lead. The hosts doubled their lead before the interval with a superbly worked move which ended with an Adam McGowan volley to make it 2-0 at the break. Linlithgow continued their dominance in the second half and made it 3 thanks to a powerful near-post header from Henderson. Clydebank pulled a goal back, but any hopes of a comeback were quickly extinguished. An effort crashed off the crossbar and Henderson reacted quickest to complete his hat-trick and secure a 4-1 victory. The result sees Linlithgow Rose move to the top of the table, while Bonnyrigg Rose's 2 each draw with Broxburn Athletic leaves them with a significant goal difference deficit to overcome.
And we've now come to the end of this week's recording. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'd like to leave you with a final thought. It's from Herbert Hoover, former US President, and although it's from 1944, it's still relevant today. Older men declare war, but it's youth that must fight and die, and it is youth who must inherit the tribulation, the sorrow, and the triumphs that are the aftermath of war. Until next time, stay safe, stay well.